Trevor, thank you so much for joining us today. We know that you have a lot of background in basketball coming into Trinity Western University. So coming off of being involved with a championship organization, can you just tell us about your basketball journey and how excited you are to be here at Trinity Western?
Yeah, so being able to spend the last season with the Raptors organization was obviously a pretty unique and special experience. And the fact that it was topped off with a championship made it all the better. But yeah, it was really neat to be a part of such a first-class organization and be in an environment with that type of athlete and talent. I mean, coming from BC, coaching high school, club, youth stuff, you don't really get to experience basketball at that level. So being able to step into the professional world at arguably, I mean, the G League is just below the NBA, so you're working with NBA athletes and you're working with some of the best guys you see in the NCAA tournament and guys you watch on TV. So being around those type of athletes coming from the college, high school game here was a really fun experience and a great learning experience.
Yeah, and you're going in to coach the summer league as well, right? Just touch base on that and how excited you are for that.
Yeah, this will be my second year on staff with the Toronto Raptors doing summer league. So I mean, once again, another great learning experience for me, and just, I mean, as a fan, I just basically got a first row seat to watch NBA, so I love it. But I mean, it's kind of how I do my coaching development. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be able to do it through the Toronto Raptors the last couple of years. So yeah, I'll be heading off to Las Vegas next week.
Coming from Abbotsford, going out to Toronto, and then coming back to Langley, just tell us about your own personal basketball journey. So
when I moved out to Abbotsford, I started coaching junior boys. I kind of just finished playing, and I had moved out to Abbotsford, and a coaching mentor of mine, Pat Lee, he had reached out to me, and I had just finished playing, and he reached out to me and asked if I wanted to get into coaching. It was something that I kind of always had in the back of my mind, and he was starting a youth program out there. So I was coaching the junior boys at WJ Mowat, and I was helping build BC Bounce when they were just starting this youth program. I think it had about 16 kids in it at the start, and now we have like 500. So I helped grow that into one of the bigger grassroots programs in the province. So I was coaching the junior boys for 2 years at WJ Mowat. Then I moved up to the senior boys as an assistant coach under Rich Ralston. And then after that, the following 2 years, I was the head coach of the senior boys there. And we had a good provincial run. We finished 4th for the 4As, which was the best finish in Mowat history.
And then you went on to assistant coach at University of Fraser Valley?
Yeah, then the following year, I went on to be the lead assistant at University of the Fraser Valley. So I got to kind of learn the Canada West and the U Sports League a little bit. So I have some familiarity with the league. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was a great experience.
So coming into a team that is in the process of rebuilding, what are some things that you're excited to instill on the team?
I think it's a really exciting challenge to kind of come into something that you can put your stamp on, mm-hmm. and kind of build your own culture. I think coming from a winning organization, and one thing that I was kind of looking for in recruits was trying to find guys who come from winning programs or mm-hmm. who have won to try to help build the culture. And I know it's tough when you're losing to have a winning culture, but I think coming in here, I really want to try to build a winning culture mm-hmm. and kind of put my stamp on a certain style of play that we want to do here. So I want to try to build this up-tempo, fast-paced, kind of exciting, fun team to watch and be part of.
What are a few ways that you want to instill that culture into your team?
Yeah, I think with the staff I'm bringing in, there's quite a bit of experience. And with myself, and some of the recruits I'm bringing in, just stuff you harp on, just stuff you try to instill in the players. Mm-hmm. I think like a big thing for me as a coach is building like relationships with players, yeah. which is something that's big and important for me. Mm-hmm. So I think right when I got the job, I kind of sat down and met one-on-one with all the guys returning and just got to know them a little bit, mm-hmm. kind of let them know what my vision is, and just kind of talking about to them how I see them helping build this and shape this. So I think building those one-on-one relationships with players mm-hmm. and having them buy in is huge. So that's something that I really want to, well, I'm already starting to do with the guys. Mm-hmm. just sitting down, getting to know them, and trying to get them to buy into my vision and then how I want this program to kind of shape for this year and the coming years.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, like who you are as a person.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a basketball junkie, as you can see from my experience. But I think I'm a pretty easygoing guy, and I love music, pop culture. So it's kind of how I stay relevant with the guys too. Right, it helps me stay relevant with all these young guys on the team. Right? And I think not being that far removed from basketball, I still like to play. I like to stay active. So I mean, I'm in the gym here quite a bit. So yeah, I like to be outside, spend time with my family.
That's so cool. So knowing that Trinity is a faith-based school, how are you going to use that new aspect of spirituality in your team's development?
Yeah, I think that was another thing that excited me about Trinity was the uniqueness of this being a faith-based school and the complete champion approach, which is something that I really bought into and thought was like something that really excited me. And I think with the staff I'm bringing on, and with the guys in the team, I think spiritual development will be a key component, and I think it's something that we'll have a strength in. And, like I said, building the one-on-one relationships with guys, I think that'll be big in the whole complete champion approach, and with the spiritual development and with the staff I have in place, I think we'll be able to do a good job with that.
So you've touched a lot on the staff that you're bringing in. Do you mind elaborating a little bit more on that?
So I think coming from the Raptors organization, I got to see firsthand the importance of having a big staff, and the importance of delegating work to your staff. So this is something I don't want to do on my own. So coming into this, I know the importance of doing this as a team. So bringing in guys who have strengths that'll complement mine, or help in different capacities. The staff is still being finalized. But my lead assistant, Joel Ashby, he has 8 years of teaching at a Christian school and coaching senior boys there. So he'll be someone who will help in the spiritual development. And other members of staff that I'm looking to finalize have different experiences in basketball, some at the U Sports level. So I'm excited for what they bring and how they'll help build and shape the program.
So touching on past staff members, we know that you have had a big personal relationship with the Raptors coach and now Team Canada coach, Nick Nurse. Do you mind just touching base on how he's influenced you in the coaching department and how it's developed in your career?
I think he's a very innovative basketball mind, and that's something that I really respect and appreciate with him. And obviously he's a fantastic coach. I think his journey is something that most coaches can relate to. Like a lot of professional coaches and NBA coaches, some have played in the NBA, and some have opportunities that the regular coach can't really relate to. But Coach Nurse, he's kind of coached at every level. He's been a guy who's coached overseas. He's coached small college. He's coached semi-pro, and he's a guy who you can look at his path to the NBA, and it's something that you can relate to and say like, this is something I can do. Or his path seems very relatable. So it's been really cool to have him, someone help me with coaching development, and someone I look up to as kind of a coaching mentor.
Final question. What are you excited about coming into Trinity, and how does this opportunity feel to you, and what do you want to do with it?
Yeah, I think the chance to come into something and really build it and to see where it is, I think that really excited me. Some people look at it as a real challenge, but I look at it as something really exciting for me. And it allows me to kind of put my own stamp on it and kind of build my brand of basketball and build this to eventually what I want to be a Canada West perennial team that's going to the Canada West Final Fours and competing for nationals. So that's kind of my goal, and I understand it's going to be a process, and I'm going to be patient with it. But I'm setting my goals, and I in my 5-year plan, I hope to be in that Canada West Final Four, competing for nationals.